What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Living the Florida East Coast. My name is Andrew Pinch and I'll be your host. And in today's video, what I wanted to do is have a 2023 Sebastian relocation guide video. So we're going to discuss everything from location, economy, the housing, lifestyle, and the climate to get a full picture of everything that you need to know about Sebastian, Florida. And we're going to do that right now. So the first one that I wanted to touch on this video is going to be the location of Sebastian, Florida, and how convenient it really is. So one of the best things I love living here, I'm currently in Vero Beach, but we're only about 15 minutes south of Sebastian, Florida, is the fact that we are so close to everything that Florida as a whole has to offer. So about 2.5, 3 hours away from the Florida Keys, an hour and a half away from Orlando, 2 to 2.5 hours away from Miami. Fort Lauderdale is less than 2 hours away. West Palm Beach is less than 2 hours away. We can hop in a car and really just vacation anywhere we want. Not to also mention the fact that we can easily vacation from the state of Florida. So if we wanted to drive up to Orlando, hour and a half, get on one of the international flights there, and then fly over to Mexico for a vacation, that flight over to Mexico is literally only about an hour and a half flight from Orlando to like Cancun or whatever the international airport is there too. So you can go to Tulum, you can go to, like I said, Cancun. So all these really popular vacation areas in the state of Mexico. Also, we have ferries down in Fort Lauderdale that take you over to the Bahamas. So that's another great one that you have. So just the convenience of the location while living here in Sebastian, while also being, if you don't want to leave, you don't have to. It is a beautiful spot all on its own. So we have world-class amazing beaches that are not too crowded here in Sebastian. You can park for free. You get to enjoy the beautiful blue waters of the Atlantic, along with the also very convenient inlet that we have there too. So the Sebastian Inlet there, we have the Sebastian Inlet State Park with miles and miles stretches of different bike trails, walking trails, private places for you to go and enjoy and just pretty much have the beach to yourself if you would like. Enjoy that sunny weather, especially this time of year whenever the sun is high. It's very, very nice outside. The humidity is lower, but the temperature is only in the mid 70s to low 80s. So that is a beautiful, beautiful time of the year to join. It is right about now when you're seeing this video. So yeah, this is just an amazing location all around. Now in this next section, I wanted to kind of pivot and talk about the economy in Sebastian, Florida. So you may be thinking to yourself that Sebastian is more of a retirement town. It's for people who have already established in their career, maybe working remote, but that's not necessarily the case. So if you decide to get into an industry like real estate, if you want to get into a tourism industry, if you want to get into the healthcare industry, there are still a lot of offers being made by the local hospitals. There's a lot of opportunity to be had if you want to get into the real estate business. There's a lot of opportunity to be had if you want to get into the construction business, just because this particular part of Florida is not overbuilt. We do cap the growth quite a bit. The county has a hard time approving different permits and approving different projects. We have height limits on the buildings. We have different zoning regulations that have to be abided by that are hard to get around. And a lot of those things do play into, you have to take them into account when you want to get into a Sebastian, or not a Sebastian, a more construction style business in Sebastian. So that's something to think about, but we are still going to continue to grow, just we're going to grow to the point to where the infrastructure can handle it. So Sebastian is extremely, extremely dialed down for a town that has its own inlet, beautiful beaches, and plenty of opportunity. This is really kind of a hidden gem still that no one is moving to for some reason. So I love living here, but the fact that most people want to relocate to a bigger city to where more things are going on, they have more opportunity, more commercial things to choose from. The fact that Sebastian does these things kind of under the radar, they're swept under the rug, but there are still plenty of activities and things going on. You just have to be a local to find out about that. Makes this the perfect hidden gem to move to. So when the word gets out further and further along, the economy is going to continue to thrive in this part of Florida as we continue to grow. Just the cap that the county commissioners are having just whoever's in charge right now, the city mayors and just the state or the county of Indian River County. If they continue to grow it in the pace that we have been, this is always going to be a thriving economy. It's going to continue to get better regardless of what industry that you want to fall into. All right, so now pivoting again, and now I wanted to discuss the housing in Sebastian, Florida as part of this Sebastian relocation guide for 2023. So at the time of this recording, early part of 2023, the median sold price for a house in Sebastian, Florida is about $390,000. So with that, you have to realize Sebastian, Florida, that does take into account a lot of the homes are on the coast of Sebastian. So that kind of averages it in when taking that into account. So 390,000 when taking into reference that some of those homes that are on that are actually on the canal and on the intracoastal, so has boat lifts, has access to get on and off their boat lift for for that kind of convenience of lifestyle. If you want to do that, you pay extra for that. So the fact that that's already built into that median price and it's only coming in at 390, that is a really, really, really good median house price to have here. So housing here, it's beautiful, it's well built. A lot of newer construction is still going up here. A lot of scattered lots that builders are currently putting their properties on. A mix of non-HOA communities with some kind of sprinkled in HOA neighborhoods there, but not as much as you'll see down in Vero Beach, not as much as you'll see definitely in Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Hope Sound, those other areas that we also cover. So the fact that housing is affordable in the Sebastian area is another reason why I wanted to kind of put it on this relocation guide here, is because I don't think you should overlook this smaller part of the east coast of Florida, because there is still a lot of room to grow. And I think the trajectory of the home prices are just going to continue to rise as that demand continues to increase, as people retire, move here, or get remote jobs and then move here as well, or find in the industry like we were talking about before, get a job within the industry that is here in Sebastian, Florida. All right, so continuing on here, we're going to talk about the lifestyle in Sebastian, Florida. So shorts, flip-flops, t-shirts, those sort of things are what you will see even in some of the fine dining options, if you want to call it that. There's not many fine dining restaurants within Sebastian, Florida. This is a relaxed Margaritaville, laid back type of lifestyle. We have the Captain Hiram's. This is where after a day of fishing, you go out the Sebastian Inlet, catch a couple, maybe mahi, you go inshore, you go bottom fishing, get some snapper. This is where you take it. If you want the restaurant to clean and cook it for you, this is where you go. So there's a cool little dock there where you can hang up your catches. The captains are putting up what their catch of the day was. Very, very cool little area. That is going to reflect on just about every other restaurant within, kind of the Sebastian lifestyle area. So up and down Indian River Drive, you've got tiki bars, and you've also got different things like you've got some Jamaican restaurants too, some Bahamian, more inspired restaurants there too. Just more seafood, more laid back. You've got the Squid Lips there. That's another one, more of kind of a touristy trap area there where they kind of overprice their food. But of course, every coastal town has to have that. So if you're in town, make sure to check out Squid Lips. Make sure to check out Captain Hiram's. But if you want to hang out with the locals, check out maybe the tiki bars and other spots there up and near the Sebastian Inlet. More laid back, more coastal, more relaxed, less traffic. The lifestyle here is one to definitely take into account before moving down here. So there's always something to enjoy, always some vibrant things going on, from the fishing and kayaking to the music festivals and art exhibitions. Sebastian offers a range of activities for people of all interests and all ages. So it's good for young families, it's good for retirees, it's good for young professionals kind of in the middle. There's always something to do in Sebastian, Florida. And if there's not something to do right there in the heart of Sebastian, the best part about it is that you live right off of 95. So I-95 is a free, toll-free highway, at least up until you get to the Palm Beach and Miami area. So the lifestyle to choose from is great in Sebastian, but it's also very close to a lot of other things that you can enjoy in the state of Florida. So lifestyle is just definitely one that I had to talk about in this video. All right, now moving on to the next, last but not least section, we're going to talk about the climate. So Sebastian has a warm, subtropical climate that you get to enjoy warm temperatures year round. Yes, we do have a couple cold snaps that come in during the winter, but that is definitely not the norm. This year they came in pretty early. They came in before Christmas. In fact, it was like maybe the first or second week of December when they really started to pile in, and the temperature got down to the 30s, which is very cold when you mix in that humidity that Florida has to offer. Remember, we're not in the middle of the mountains where the humidity is next to nothing. It chills you down to the bone when it gets down to that, into the 20s and 30s. So that was definitely something to remember there for this last winter that we saw. But since then, it has been amazing. Right now, as I look outside, I think the temperature is probably going to be around 75, 76 degrees. The sun is high up in the sky. There's hardly any clouds out. So it's a beautiful, beautiful climate this time of year. Now, if you can handle living here during the summer, I mean, they get up to the 80s and 90s, mid 90s typically is what you'll see on a big hot summer day. That's typically where it likes to cap out at. And our hottest months of the year is going to be around July and August. So July and August is where the least amount of residents you will find living here on the Florida East Coast. But the locals, of course, will stick around. We make it a lifestyle. I was born and raised here. It doesn't bother me at all. But that's why these shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops, that sort of thing, when we were talking about the lifestyle, is a norm because it's warm year-round. No snow, no battling for the blizzards. No, I saw a little trend on, I think it was like TikTok or something, where a guy had a towel over his windshield and he just pulled the towel off and his windshield was ready to go. It was clear of any snow. You're not dealing with that stuff here in the state of Florida. I would have never thought about that because I'm a local here in Florida. So that's going to be the last but not least section, was going to be the climate here in Sebastian, Florida. So guys, kind of just to wrap this all up, Sebastian is a great place to call home with a strong economy, affordable housing, and a relaxed, beachy lifestyle. So whether you're relocating for work or retirement, come and discover the best of Sebastian for yourself. You will not be let down. This is a great, great place to live. So guys, that wraps it up here. Again, if you have any questions or concerns before making that move here to the Florida East Coast, make sure to reach out to me. I'm a local realtor here in Vero Beach, but I cover all the way up and down the East Coast of Florida. Also, check out our website. I made a new one here. It's called fleastcoast.com. So fleastcoast.com. This is where you can search for your dream property here on the Florida East Coast. And also, if you wanted to reach out to me directly, I'll have my information here on the screen as well as down below in the description. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, because we promise that we will have your back when making that move down here to the Florida East Coast. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.